Do you want to learn English in a fun, exciting way without even realizing you're studying? You're in the right place. This story is full of useful English phrases and grammar that will help you become a better speaker without feeling like you're in a classroom. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with a friend who loves stories and learning English too. Let's get started. I dropped my passport in the Ganges River. It was a hot and sunny morning in India. The sky was wide and blue with not a single cloud to be seen. Birds flew across the river singing songs only they understood. Tourists were walking by the Ganges River, smiling, laughing, and taking photos. Among them was a man named Leo. Leo had never been to India before. He had always dreamed of visiting this country full of colors, music, and magic. He loved traveling, and he always carried his small black backpack wherever he went. Inside this backpack were his camera, a notebook, a small umbrella, a bottle of water, and, most importantly, his passport. He had arrived in Varanasi 3 days ago and had already fallen in love with the place. The narrow streets were full of life. There were cows walking slowly, people selling tea on the corners, and musicians playing instruments Leo had never seen before. He didn't understand everything, but he felt welcomed. That morning, Leo decided to go on a boat ride. He had heard that the Ganges River was a sacred place, and many people came here to pray, to wash, and to find peace. He wanted to see the sunrise from the river and take some beautiful pictures. So, he paid the boatman and stepped carefully into a small wooden boat. The boat was old but strong. It moved slowly, cutting through the water like a knife through butter. The boatman said something in Hindi and smiled. Leo smiled back, not understanding the words but feeling the kindness. As the boat floated down the river, Leo took out his camera. The light was perfect. He took pictures of temples, of people standing in the water, and of candles floating on small leaf boats. He was so focused on the view that he didn't notice his backpack slipping. Suddenly there was a soft splash. He turned quickly and saw the backpack hanging halfway off the edge of the boat. Before he could grab it, it fell. It hit the water with a small sound and disappeared. Leo's heart stopped. He leaned over the edge, trying to see the backpack, but the water was dark and moving. It was gone. Completely gone. And with it, his passport. For a moment, Leo couldn't think. He just sat there frozen. The boat kept moving, the sun kept rising, and people still prayed by the river. But for Leo, time had stopped. He didn't know what to do. Should he jump into the river? Should he scream? Should he cry? But he did none of those things. He took a deep breath. And then he laughed. Yes, he laughed. It was not because he found it funny. It was because he didn't know what else to do. He had read somewhere that sometimes, when life surprises you in the worst way, laughing can help. The boatman looked at him confused. Leo pointed at the water and said, "Passport." The boatman nodded slowly, as if he understood everything. They returned to the shore. Leo got off the boat, wet from leaning over the side. He thanked the boatman and started walking. What could he do now? He had no passport, no way to prove who he was. He remembered that his phone was in his pocket. Luckily, it was still dry. He found a quiet spot and sat down. He opened his phone and searched for the nearest embassy. The screen showed that the embassy was in New Delhi, very far from where he was. But he didn't panic. Instead, he opened his notebook. On the first page, he wrote, "Today, I dropped my passport in the Ganges River." Then he smiled. He knew that one day, this would be a story he would tell again and again. Over the next few days, Leo talked to people. He explained his situation slowly using simple English and lots of hand movements. People helped him. One man offered him a ride to the train station. Another gave him a phone charger. A woman at a guest house gave him tea and helped him book a ticket. When he finally reached New Delhi, he went to the embassy. It took time, but they helped him. He got a temporary passport. He filled out forms, answered questions, and smiled politely. 3 weeks later, he was on a plane back home. He looked out the window and thought about the Ganges River. He thought about the boat ride, the splash, and the laughter. And he felt grateful. Because sometimes the best stories are born from the worst mistakes. You just learn so much. Without even trying, you just learned new vocabulary, useful sentence patterns, and common grammar structures. That's the power of storytelling. Stories make language come alive. You didn't memorize a list of words. You lived an experience with Leo. So if you enjoyed this journey and want to keep learning English in a fun way, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your friends who are learning English too. Now it's your turn. Leave a comment and answer this question. What would you do if you lost your passport in another country? I'll be reading your answers and maybe even featuring them in the next video. See you next time.